Today I want to talk to you about an article that I just read from verywellhealth.com, and it was titled Leg Strength May Support Brain Health as You Age, and this is by Stephanie Brown. Well, what they're talking about is they're trying to find, the pathways of why, physical exercise helps out your brain and why, building leg strength, they did some study with twins and the leg strength also correlated with the brain health and all this stuff, and I want to simplify these things for you because so many people they want to overcomplicate things. They want to make this study and they want to try to figure all this stuff out. Well, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of this, and I'm going to give you some other examples of why your brain and your body are connected because they're in your body, but also that's not the only reason why. It's not like if you work out your legs, you're going to become a genius. I read articles like that and it's kind of clickbaity and it gets you to think, and maybe that's a motivation for you to actually start working out, which is great. But I want to break things down for you so you understand more about your body, and in this case, more about your brain. Why would exercise be good for your brain? We don't need a study to understand this. Your brain is part of your body. We have this weird thing in the West where we think our brain is separate from our body. Our brain is made up of the same thing that our body is, okay? Cells, water, all right? Energy, okay? So when you have bad blood flow because you're not exercising, you're not going to have good blood flow to the brain, which needs energy. It takes about like 25% of our energy throughout the day. So if your energy pathways are down because you have a shitty diet or because you can't walk up a flight of stairs because you're so weak, your brain is going to suffer because of that. But don't think that if you're fat or if you're unhealthy that your brain isn't going to function well. Look at people like Stephen Hawking. The guy can't even freaking move. You know people who are in wheelchairs who can't use their legs and they're geniuses and they're smart and their brain works just fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work out. What I'm saying is there are many factors that go into this. But if your body's healthier, you're damn sure that your brain is going to be healthier as well, because your brain is part of your body. So that's the first thing to understand. If you have if you have less insulin resistance, if you're more sensitive to insulin, your body's going to have less chance of Alzheimer's and these things. They're starting to find all this stuff out. Why? Because again, it chokes off that blood flow to these areas that helps keeping the neurons firing so that you can remember things and can send one thing from one side of the brain to the other side of the brain and move things back and forth. It's just simple understanding that one thing affects the other. When you are using your body, you're going to help out your brain. Simple as that. So one of the things that they were talking about were, the hippocampus, which is, one part of the brain, and why all the other parts of the brain, get affected as well through exercise. That's the big takeaway. But what's another takeaway that isn't related to just like the article had leg exercises in there, and I'm saying, great, but it's full body exercise. It's not just legs that you want to focus on. You want to use your whole body because you use your whole body. You want to lift and weights with your whole body because you use your whole body through everything. And the more you do, the better it's going to be for your brain as well. Because like I said, your body and your brain are connected. But what are some other factors of why, when they look at studies that correlate between leg strength and brain health, why would that be such a strong correlation? When I just told you, you can be in a freaking wheelchair and still have a great brain. Why would that be correlated? Well, there's other factors that go in. If I'm taking care of my health because I'm walking every day, I might not be doing that alone. I might be doing that with another person. So that might be social. So that's another aspect of my life, all of these different things in my life, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, right? Work-related, all these things might be better. So I'm going to have a better quality of life. I'm probably eating healthier. If I'm working out my legs and I have stronger legs and I'm using my body because I'm walking, I might be eating healthier as well. I might not be drinking as much alcohol. I might not be using as much drugs. Alcohol, drugs, diet, those things affect your brain. Social relations, we know, affects the brain. The relationships that you have, stress affects the brain. It's a stress reliever. Exercise, and especially walking, can be a tremendous stress reliever. So when you think about these things and they say it's correlated, every quote that they put in this article is, it may help. Of course, it may help, because you could have strong legs, but then be a drug addict at the same time and have holes in your brain, and your memory and all the other cognitive functions can be going down. But if you're walking, if you're lifting weights, if you're doing these healthy activities, you're probably, more often than not, doing these other things that help you along with life. And that's going to be creating a healthier brain. So if this article is something, or if reading this is something that's going to help you get motivated to exercise because you want to prioritize your brain health, I am all for it 1,000%. But don't think that just doing one thing is going to affect you the other way. All right. The people that I know that have the sharpest brains at the oldest ages, they do all of it. They leave no stone unturned. What do I mean by that? They are active physically. They are active mentally. They're challenging themselves. A lot of them, like I have a client who's 78 years old. She still works part-time. Sometimes she'll take a job that's full-time. So she has to use her brain. One of the reasons why things decline as we get older is because you don't use it, you lose it. You don't use your brain, you don't use your body. Of course, you're going to lose muscle mass. Of course, you're going to lose brain function. If I never have to let it work, it's everything in our body is like a muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. But they have relationships as well. So they do physical, they do the mental, okay? They learn, they take courses. My grandma's one of these people who is 93 years old. She just popped in the other day. Hey, how's it going? Still drives a car, still sharp as a whip, all right? She's out there writing articles for magazines, okay? She's very, very into politics. She likes to talk about those types of things. So she's active in the community. She volunteers. She's doing things. And that's why she's still sharp, okay? Physical, mental, relational, okay? She calls her kids, she pops over to our house, you know what I mean? She does things for relationships. So if you want to have the healthiest brain that you can, think about all the things that you can do for that. And if exercise is one of the things that you don't do, you're missing out on a huge benefit. And they're going to start finding more and more research that points to this, because again, if we think of our brain as being this thing over here, like we think it's like a computer program, right? And if we just take that and we put it into something else, it's going to work fine. I think we're going to have a lot harder time understanding the brain if we think of it that way. If we think that we can download our consciousness into some other physical device, your body and your brain are connected together. And I know I gave an example of someone in a wheelchair or Stephen Hawking where their body is breaking down, but their brain is still functioning. Yes, but their body still is the power source for that. And until we figure out the connection between the two, and this research is great that we're learning more about this, but it's at the end of the day, it's real basic. The brain and the body are connected in this thing that our human vessel has. And there's lots of different functions that pass back and forth between the two. So if you want the healthiest brain that you can, look at all the different areas of your life. And it doesn't mean you have to be an expert in your physical, an expert in your mental, an expert in your relational, an expert in all these areas. But again, not leaving one stone unturned, meaning you're going to try to put some effort into your physical, into your nutritional and diet, into your relations, into your mental capacity, by not just, a lot of people, they just retire, or they have money and they don't use their brain anymore. They just do the same things over and over again. So you should be challenging yourself, playing games or learning something new. People talk about learning languages. If you don't want to learn a language, then anything, learning a musical instrument. I don't want to do any of that. Okay, well, challenging yourself in some other way. It doesn't matter whether it's taking another job part-time, all right, or volunteering, or whatever it might be. But challenge, again, is going to stimulate things. Physical body is going to help that relation between your brain and your body, because again, they are one and the same. They do different functions, but just like your heart and your liver do different functions, it doesn't mean they're not part of your body. We take this mind thing and we think that it's something else. So again, if you want the best brain health, do everything that you can. Leg strength will correlate with that because of all those different reasons why. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of physical fitness and health overall, because it's good for everything. And that's pretty much it. And I hope you got something out of today. Thank you.